Traveling from the state of Maine to Colorado every month is absolutely worth it.
Waukesha, Wisconsin. I leave my wife, my 1-year-old son, and my 4-year-old son to come out here.
I live in Nebraska. It's a 5-hour drive to get to class, which most of the classes are in the Denver metro area.
And that is a long commute from Anchorage, Alaska. So I would actually have to get up usually around 3:30 a.m. to catch my flight out of Anchorage.
I fly in, 48 hours every month for LPR.
A 3-day commitment for me to come to Colorado. It is 110% worth it.
This is like my reserve drill weekend. This is my capitalist drill weekend. And I'm exhausted at the end of the day on Friday of all the concepts I'm trying to assimilate and all the connections I'm making.
To do anything great, you have to have some things that you're going to be willing to sacrifice. And my family's behind me.
It is an investment of time that is going to pay dividends for the rest of my life.
It's a lot, but it's absolutely worth it.
I feel like after 22 years in the military, I'm doing more to defend freedom and democracy than I ever did.
I think the fact that there are class participants that are traveling across the nation to come to this program is evidence in itself of the value of the program.
There's no place that does that like LPR, that looks at us as individuals and helps us to see what is it that we do really well that can help bring more freedom to our communities? Not just to learn things, not just to see what's wrong, not just to know what needs to be done to fix it, but to actually be the people who are the current day founding fathers and mothers.
I was very fortunate in my military career and my academic career, and now to be exposed to a lot of great leaders, leadership programs, leadership training. I mean, that's what the military and a lot of these things are about. This one was different.
This is an education that just isn't happening out there.
We're about 3 basic things: individual rights, the proper role of government, and engaged citizens. Each individual is precious and unique and has a right to their own life, liberty, property, and pursuit of happiness. But that's not enough. You can't have just individual citizens asserting that. They have to be a part of a government.
It's not just limited government, it is proper government, and that proper role of government is really singular, to protect the rights of the individual and nothing else.
And the only way that can happen is if you have self-governing individuals who are engaged. Citizenship has to mean something, and it has to mean much more than just voting. It has to mean being engaged with your fellow citizens and understanding and reinforcing that role for government.
If you skip the step of outreach to the people, your bold idea is not going to go anywhere. So you have to figure out how to get your bold idea to the people first and percolate it there. And that's what LPR creates, is an army of culture agents.
I think that most politicians are a reflection of where our culture is at rather than cultural leaders. If we want better politicians that support better policies, then I think we need to take a deep, hard look in the mirror and ask ourselves what kind of culture we are and what kind of culture we want to be.
On one hand, we're teaching people about political freedom through understanding the Declaration and the founding better. On the other hand, we're teaching people about the only moral socioeconomic system known as capitalism that is compatible with human nature and therefore compatible with the Declaration and the founding of this country.
People persuade themselves all the time, this next election is the most important election in the history of our country. I mean, how many times have we heard that? But the leadership program of the Rockies does take a long view, a view of permanence, a view of timeless ideas, and they are applied in positive ways by a team that just gets bigger and bigger. And we've been doing it for a number of years, just stacking graduating class upon graduating class and linking those individuals into what we call an army of freedom.
They're laser focused on what they do. That's an LPR trait, right? Takes average people, everyday people, and make them into superheroes, right?
There are CEOs, there are radio talk show hosts, there are doctors, there are stay-at-home moms and dads, there are school board members, there are school teachers, there are people who work in higher education.
They design programs and work together and come up with, whether it might be starting a nonprofit that does some worthwhile thing in the community, or starting a business, or changing their trajectory in ministry or in academia or in media.
We have people who are good leaders. They have confidence in their ability to communicate. but they think they know all the right ideas. And it's amazing how they get more engaged with the ideas. And then we have people who know they know the right ideas, but are not great communicators, or not really that persuasive. And it's amazing to see them take much more seriously the issue about persuasion, messaging.
I've been a part of leadership organizations and seminars and classes and all the training that a former member of Congress would receive for years, but I've never been associated with an organization as meaningful and as powerful as this one.
LPR is different. I've only been here for 6 months now, and it has literally changed my life and given me the opportunity to change lives, I believe, for the better back home with what I do.
Without a doubt, LPR changed my life.
It was the networking that has lifted me, has filled in gaps, and the people of LPR, coupled with the principals, have taken me to a level that I would have not reached without going through this program.
I would not be where I am today if it weren't for LPR.
I believe in the Army for Freedom. Whether it's 2,500 grassroots volunteers from across the state activated to get a ballot question to protect the Electoral College, or fighting back against the governor and all of his money and influence in order to win Proposition HH, all of these victories have the same thing in common, and that's the grassroots united.
This training is so extraordinary. It needs to actually go through every state of the nation.
Free enterprise, free markets, entrepreneurship, self-discipline, financial discipline. Those things are being taught at LPR in a way that we can take that message and deliver it anywhere.
The LPR program is the perfect model to start changing the culture in our communities and in our states.
I've been a fan of LPR for a long time. It is a great enterprise. My only regret is that there isn't LPR in every state, in every metropolitan area, in every village and hamlet. We need a powerful, influential leadership program for America.